Hey guys, I started out to make a separate video just on the bandsaw, but I figured, hey, why not? So, I've been fighting bandsaws forever, it seems like, and finally bought one. Well, no, this is the WEN model BA3959. You ready to get it out of the box? I'm not going to really show an unboxing, not much need in it for something like this. I also wanted to note, I got this in a bundle, and the switch came with it. It was extra $10 to get it with the switch, which will be super handy for backing out of cuts. I can just let off the pedal. It's momentary, and just let off the pedal and back out of the cut and get back to cutting. And it can be used for other tools as well, and just plugs in right here. And also ordered 2 extra blades for it. These are 59.5-inch blades. These are 1/4 inch, I believe. And honestly, not surprised. You do have to put the table on it and everything else, which shouldn't be too bad to do. There's the end of the motor it's on it. So let me get everything out and we'll look at it on the bench before we put it together. And it does appear the blades on it and tensioned already. And just doing this, it already runs smoother than the ones I have, which are older Craftsman's. And which I'm not going to throw mine away that I have. I'm going to sell them just because I'm sure somebody would want them for parts or something. I'm already impressed with how heavy it is compared to the other ones I've seen in this size. I was really wanting to get the current version of the Cobalt one. Oh, that's nice. At Lowe's sells, but it had horrible reviews on it. Nice switch. I like that you can pop that out and not be able to turn it on if you need to. It's a key. Blade tracking view window. So you can look in there and see the blade where it rides out on the pulley. So that's a good thing. I'm just impressed by overall just the feel of it and the way it's made. Oh, that's kind of neat. You just turn that and it locks the wheel in. Metal wheels, it's a plus. Just little things that matter. A little brush right there. That can make a whole difference right there, keeping the sawdust off of that so it don't get over here in between that. That's been nice and free, guys. Let's open this side up. Nice. Very impressive. The adjustment for the wheel. Oh, I love that. I've never seen one like this. This is how you adjust the height of the cut. Wow. That's nice. I like that. I thought it was direct drive. It's actually belt drive, which is actually probably better. There's a little bit of a gear reduction there, so it gives you a little bit more torque. One of the other ones I have is direct drive, and it's very weak. So definitely very impressed with this. I say metal, these are aluminum wheels. It's way better than what I've had before. I'm trying to get the feel for the blade tension because I know it's set the way it's supposed to be from the factory. And kind of see what it does. One of the reviews, it had one bad review out of all the good reviews, and other than some people saying it was weak for what they were doing, and we're going to initiate it pretty good on the first thing we do, which is going to be cutting some 2-inch maple with it, cutting a Telecaster guitar body out with it. Here's the motor. Oh, that's nice. Belt adjustment tension. That one belt drive I have don't have that. There's the adjustment for the tracking, 4-way adjustment. This is made more like some of the older ones were. There's the port for hooking up to a like a shop vac to get the sawdust out. This is the adjustment for the table angle, which we had to set up as well. I'm not quite sure what this one's for. Oh, that probably just locks it in for the wheel adjustment. That way you can't just move it. We're not tracking adjustment, just a tension on that. I have to look at the book and make sure I'm not going to start off wrong with it. So far, I'm definitely very impressed with it. Just such a better feel to it overall than the other ones I got. Alright, so let's look at the book. I'll just do this off camera. Just read your book and make sure you follow the steps. We'll kind of briefly look at it and put the table on it, or base, whatever it's called, and go from there. I got ahead of myself here talking. I was talking about the one bad review, and it said the motor was running in reverse and the blade was spinning the wrong way, so we had to check that out. It's probably 1 in a million chance of that happening, but the review said, this is on Amazon, I'm not affiliated with Amazon or anything like that, but they said that they contacted WEN and they sent out a brand new motor and he was able to fix it himself. So that just shows you how good this company is. And no, it's not a top of the line like a Grizzly or anything like that, but I got three other WEN products. My little inverter generator. Also have this sander. You've seen it in other videos. Now, I'm not going to dig it out. You've seen it before. I have a small 4.5 inch electric hand planer. It's made real well too. So this was on sale for $150 at the time I bought this. This appears to be made better than all the others. It's all metal, so that's the main reason I went with it, except for like the switch plate. It don't matter. Really like you can tell how well something's made by the weight. This is at least twice as heavy as the other bandsaws I got. So a couple things to point out. Read the instructions like I said, but I'll briefly show you what I did. Here's the guide, the fence, and the miter gauge. Really impressed with the way it's made. There's a little bolt that goes through here. It's got a wing nut here on the bottom. You got to remove that so the blade can slide through the slot when you're putting it on. But don't forget to put that back on because that helps level the table. So very simple setup on this. You got to pull this out to get the gear to go in. You got these two knobs that screw in with the washer right there. Then you got to adjust the indicator to 0 once it's all set up. And I did check it with a square. It appears to be right on. If not, it's super close. So get ready to hook it up and try it out. Now for what I'm going to be doing with it, cutting guitar bodies, this will have to come off. It's just going to get in my way. You always got to make sure these are square too, because they do have a little bit of play in them. So this will be coming off. And obviously I'm not going to be using this right now, but very handy to have all that stuff. So I got to read and see what this other adjustment's for back here. Not quite sure what this knob is for. I don't know how this one exactly works. So let me read this. Well, if I'd looked at the picture, I'd have seen it was a blade tracking. I think I mentioned that at first. I had to adjust it very slightly. It's just about where it needs to be at. And I had to set up the guides here a little bit. I'm not going to go into very much detail because you need to read the book, honestly, just to get the best information out of it. But like I'm spinning the blade here and this back bearing is not moving, but as soon as I press in it starts spinning. That's about what you want for that back one. And these guides have to be close to the back of the blade, not too close to the teeth though. And this is a lock knob that locks this whole assembly in place once you get your height set. So that's pretty handy. So now I know what everything's for. And this is for bottom adjustment, so tracking it, which you shouldn't have to do until the bearings start getting a little bit of play in it. You might have to touch it up just a little bit to keep it to, if you can't adjust the tracking enough from the top, you have to work on the bottom. But that's pretty preset from the factory, and really you shouldn't have to mess with it, like I said, unless the bearings get completely wore out, and you might have to do a few adjustments on it. Well, I think we're ready. Let's plug it in, make sure it works for us. Probably should have already done that, but I want to get the blade set so it wouldn't come off. I'm honestly contemplating about drilling holes in my workbench, but I usually just mount it to the welding table temporarily because I don't really have a permanent setup. I really want to build another mobile workbench with a wood top so I can just bolt everything down and have it set up for that. Oh, that's smooth. Alright, let's do a test cut. This is a piece of the maple from that guitar body. Just do a couple of test cuts, then we'll go get the, then we'll start cutting on the body if it seems like it's going to cut through it. And I got my shop vac hooked up. You notice it's a small hose because it's a small shop vac. And here it is. It's 4 horsepower, 5 gallon Craftsman. Works good for just storing stuff like this. couple little words of advice: always have safety glasses on and follow all the safety instructions that's in the manual. And also, if anybody's watching you, a lot of people like to watch people cut stuff out. Don't have them stand on this side over here, because if this blade breaks, you don't know where it's going to go, but it stands a pretty high chance of shooting out of here. Oh yeah, huge improvement. Look how that wood grain looks on that. Alright, so this video is going to be put in two videos. The video of building this guitar and the bandsaw video, so bear with me on that. That's pretty much all I'm going to show on camera. Pretty impressed, guys. It cut good. Blade tension's still good. Usually a blade will stretch some. So I got the foot switch hooked up. That's what I was using. Super handy. Just remember that when you get done, turn that back off. That way you don't accidentally step on it. So here's the guitar body. And I rough cut these like this because I got a template and router bit to go around and get the actual thing. Got super close right here, but it'll be alright. That's the hardest part right there, and even just a little bit right here, especially on a Strat. This is the back of it, obviously. I always try to put the better wood grain on the back of a guitar. And this front's got this streak, which most of it's going to be covered up by the pick guard and the bridge and stuff, but some of it will probably come off anyway from sanding. But so that's where we're at now. I just have to also kind of get a little close here, but we'll be alright. We can make it work. We're still within the line, and this line is oversized as well, so not bad. Pretty smooth cut. Alright guys, we'll go ahead and end this video. Just check the motor, and the motor got pretty warm, honestly. You're supposed to keep an eye on that belt in there if you don't want to get that tension loose on there, and it'll start slipping. You see the motor's got full adjustment right there, so something you got to keep an eye on. Very happy with it. I like it. Got a good feel to it. Just made it good. Just made good overall. Definitely going to keep it. Works good. And that maple was a good test for it. 2-inch thick maple. I can only go so sharp at the curves though. Alright guys, we'll end this video. It's probably longer than it needs to be. Thanks for watching, guys. I thought this might make a nice little video for anybody who's looking to buy one of these and wants to see how it does for cutting guitar bodies out. You can always use a bigger one for guitar bodies. It does get a little tight over here, but get as big as one as you can afford if you're doing guitar bodies like that. But this will work for me. I cut probably 2 bodies a year, if that. So this is more than enough for me. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next video.